So for those who haven't heard, Unreal Engine recently added some guidelines, some suggested guidelines for developers using their platform, and it's basically to try and be quote inclusive, but really it's just a bunch of really foggy censorship crap. In my opinion, that's what we're going to be looking at today. As you can see on screen, this is what I'm reading off of. The first paragraph is basically, in a nutshell, be inclusive, and everything following that is where they describe a bit more in depth what being inclusive means. So we're going to start out with the first one here: racial, ethnic, and religious inclusiveness. Do not use metaphors or similes that reinforce stereotypes. Examples include contrast black and white, or blacklist and whitelist. So we already have a big problem. So you're not allowed to use the words black and white. So let's just say someone said, "Hey, you're playing a game," and someone said, "Hey, I want you to go to the store and I want you to buy me a black and white shirt." So that is now, so they are trying to ban that now, or the word blacklist and whitelist is banned. I don't know what blacklist and whitelist means, but I do know that there's a game called Splinter Cell Blacklist. Does that mean that that game is now considered offensive to some people because the word blacklist is in the name? So rest in peace, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist. Do not use words that refer to historical trauma or lived experience of discrimination. Examples include slave, master, and nuke. So this raises all sorts of questions here. We're going to start out with the first one, slave. All right, let's say that someone was trying to make a Star Wars game about Anakin Skywalker, and it started out with his life as a slave before he got freed by Qui-Gon Jinn. So that game would be banned now? You wouldn't be able to make a game about Anakin Skywalker without being considered offensive? And I guess I should have mentioned that this isn't being enforced yet. I don't think. It's just suggested guidelines. But since they're suggesting it, I think it is only a matter of time before they're going to enforce it. But back to this, it was like, okay, so you're not able to make a game like Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry about a slave escaping from slavery because the word slave is now considered offensive, or Anakin Skywalker it is now considered offensive because he was a slave before Qui-Gon Jinn freed him, so we can't make a game about the history of Anakin Skywalker. Or the word master. So Grandmaster Yoda is now considered offensive. I mean, I see where they're coming from with this, that some people could be offended by the words slave and master. I see where this is coming from, but I think it could really be misused because I've already come up with examples right off the top of my head of this being misused and just being censorship. Like Grandmaster Yoda is now considered offensive according to them because it has the word master in it, or like a master black belt martial artist. Is that now considered offensive? Is Chuck Norris now offensive because I believe he has some sort of a master's black belt? Or if someone or if they're discussing someone who has like a master's degree in college, that is now offensive because it has the word master in it. And the word nuke is considered offensive. Just throw Fallout right out the window. Throw out Fallout 1, throw out Fallout 2, throw out Fallout 3, throw out Fallout New Vegas, throw out Fallout 76, because they all got the word nuke in them. Throw out Call of Duty, throw out any World War II game. The word nuke is now considered offensive. Just throw every Fallout game out the window. Throw almost every Call of Duty game out the window. That is now considered offensive. Like, why? Why, Unreal Engine? Why are you doing this to us? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Alright, gender inclusiveness. Refer to hypothetical people as they, them, and their, even in the singular. I mean, I'm not really sure what to say about that one. I mean, alright, whatever. Refer to anything that is not a person as it and its. I mean, I'm not really sure what to what to say about that one either. I mean, I'm not going to call a chair a she. You know, I'm looking at a chair right now. I'm not going to say, oh, just bring her over. No, I'm going to say bring it over if I was trying to tell you to bring a chair over. I'm not really sure why that needs to be said. Do not assign a gender to anything that doesn't have one. So I think there's going to be an issue with that one with various languages, because I myself am learning Polish right now, and in Polish, every noun has a gender, and the same could be said for German, and I think Spanish as well. Every noun has a gender. Be it cat, be it dog, be it potato, be it shirt. Every noun in those three languages, I'm not sure about Spanish, but I know in Polish and German, has a gender. Like, I believe cat is male, if I'm not mistaken, looking at my Polish wife for guidance. Yes, okay, so she's saying that a cat in Polish, just the word cat, which is kot, is male. Like, that's just the way the language is. Or like, dog is also male, but dress is in Polish a female noun. So that is really going to make things really hard on foreign developers who, in their native language, every noun has a gender. So they're talking about trying to be inclusive. I'm saying this is very exclusive, because sure, in English, nouns don't have genders. I mean, every now and then I've heard someone, refer to like a car as like, oh yeah, she's my baby, like some guy with like a really expensive Corvette or something like that. But in other languages, nouns have genders. I mean, that's just the way it is. So this is being very exclusive to people who are not designing games in English, or people who aren't English. Let's move on to the next. Do not use collective nouns like guys that assume gender. So I think this could be really problematic as well. I mean, I don't know, let's say there's a group of guys hanging out. He's like, and they're skating. One of them's like, hey guys, check this out. And then he pops some really cool skateboarding trick, and they're all like, oh yeah, man, that's really cool. So that's now considered offensive, apparently. Avoid colloquial, I don't know how to pronounce that, phrases that contain arbitrary genders, like a poor man's ex. I honestly don't understand that one, so we're just going to move on. Slang. Remember that your words are being read by a global audience that may not share the same idioms, attitudes, and who might not understand the same cultural references. Avoid slang and colloquialisms, even if you think they are funny or harmless. These may be hard to understand for people whose first language is not English and might not translate well. So slang is now banned. Time to ban the Andy Griffith Show, because the words ain't and y'all, which are slang, are used in like about every episode of that. Like, fam, if you grew up in the southern United States, you use the words y'all and ain't. I mean, that's just part of life. So apparently you are no longer allowed to say things like y'all or ain't, or slang is now banned. Apparently, I don't know what all would qualify under that, but apparently y'all is now offensive, ain't is now offensive. Just if what's this world coming to? Honestly, do not use profanity. Oh boy, I'm at a loss of words as to what to say for that one, because at that point, just take every M-rated game and just throw it out the window. Honestly, like that's just censorship. I myself do not like using profanity. I honestly don't. But I do not believe in censoring someone, because I believe in free will. I believe that God gives us free will, and I believe in free speech. And this is saying, no, you're not allowed to use profanity. Throw out Call of Duty, throw out Battlefield, throw out Back for Blood. I'm just throw out literally any M-rated game. Just throw it out right now. Throw out half of every T-rated game. Profanity is now banned. What? How are they going to enforce that? Like that? How do they? Have fun enforcing that one is all I can say. Do not use profanity. Just have fun enforcing that one, Unreal Engine. Just have fun with that one. Overloaded words. Many terms that we use for their technical meanings also have other meanings outside of technology. Examples include abort, execute, or native. When you use words like these, always be precise and examine the context in which they appear. I feel like this one, if they were to start like really modern games, could definitely be abused. Like if someone says abort mission, system failure. You know, is that now considered offensive or execute? Like I don't know, like if you're playing a game about like the French Revolution and someone's about to be executed, is that now considered offensive? The word native. I mean, I'm not really sure why they're trying to censor the word native. You know, like there's a game about aliens, and you're like, I don't know, someone's introducing you, and they're like, oh yeah, here are the native inhabitants of planet Bubblegum. I don't know why. Okay, we're naming a planet Bubblegum. Why not? But these are the natives of planet Bubblegum. Is that now considered offensive? I don't know. Word list. The following list identifies some terminology that we have used in the Unreal code base in the past, but we believe should be replaced with better alternatives. Word name blacklist. Again, I don't know what blacklist means, but I do know there's a game called Splinter Cell Blacklist. So here we have deny list, block list, exclude list, avoid list, unapproved list, forbidden list, permission list. So I'm guessing a blacklist basically means things that are banned, which I guess that's what this entire list is. It's just things that are being banned now. We have white list, allow list, include list, trust list, safe list, prefer list, approve list, permission list. I don't know why that would be considered offensive. Again, with Splinter Cell Blacklist, is that game itself going to just straight up be banned because the word blacklist is in the title? Master, alternative word name, primary, source, controller, template, reference, main, leader, original, base. Grand Primary Yoda, we now have to replace Master, so now we have Grand Primary Yoda, Grand Source Yoda, Grand Base Yoda, Grand Original Yoda. Like, I think I kind of see where they're trying to go with that one, because someone might be offended by the word Master, but I mean that just has so much. That could just be taken so wrong. Like someone was like a master martial artist in a game, and they're like, oh yeah, he's a 9th degree master black belt. They would now have to say like he's a 9th degree primary black belt. Like what primary black belt? What is a primary black belt? Who is primary master Yoda? Who is primary master Obi-Wan Kenobi? You know, that one could just be taken really out of context. Word name slave. Alternative word name secondary, replica, agent, follower, worker, cluster node, locked, linked, synchronized. Like I said earlier, I mean, what if looking at something like Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry, which is about a slave who breaks away and finds his freedom, and he helps other slaves escape. So now we would have to call him a secondary. A secondary breaks free from his slavers, or a agent breaks free from his slavers and helps free other agents. I mean, that just doesn't sound right to me. I mean, I'm really not sure what to say, honestly. I mean, I miss when freedom of speech was a thing. That's what I can say. I think I see where they're trying to come from with that, but like I said, but on the other hand, I think that could just be taken so wrongly. Like again, we have Slave. You're making a game about Anakin Skywalker, and how he was a slave before he was freed by Qui-Gon Jinn. So we're not allowed to call him a slave anymore. We now have to call him Agent Anakin Skywalker. I mean, that's just completely just changes the total meaning, because he wasn't a agent. Watto owned him before Qui-Gon Jinn freed him. And of course slavery is wrong. I know that. But if you were like to try and take Anakin's story and convert it into a video game using Unreal Engine, they wouldn't be happy if you called him a slave. They would want you to call him a agent, or a secondary, or a synchronized, or a follower. Like that just sounds, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, y'all. I don't like getting political. I honestly don't. But when I see all these non-gamers attacking video games, attacking my passion, attacking my hobby, excuse me, I can't just sit there and not saying anything and watch gaming be destroyed by a bunch of leftists and wokies who don't even play games. Just let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you for or against censorship? I believe in freedom of speech. That's what the Constitution says. The Constitution gives us freedom of speech. I don't know. Have a great day. God loves you. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Goodbye.